how should people behave? How should they live their lives at this point based on what we know right now?
For the vast majority of Americans right now, keep calm and carry on. We should all be in a state of heightened public health and hygiene, so wash your hands very rigorously. Pay attention to what you're touching, surfaces, elevator buttons, handrails, like you mentioned on the subway, wiping down your seats on the airplane, tray tables, when you exit the bathroom, keeping a physical barrier between yourself. That being said, if you are in that vulnerable category, if you are immunologically compromised, or if you're in the high-risk category, it's best to probably avoid unnecessary public gatherings or travel.
I know you're not an economist, but when United Airlines announces, as they did today, 10% cut in domestic, 20% in overseas, they're offering their employees to volunteer for unpaid leave. They're going to park a bunch of aircraft. That gets heard by the public.
Sure.
And now that means more people are going to be herded on to crowded planes where the CDC tells us the virus can live for 24 hours on your seatback tray table. So that's going to be a concern.
It's going to be a concern, but there are things we can do about that. You know, for example, an airplane is cleaned every time you get off that airplane, but cleaning doesn't mean disinfecting.
Right.
However, it's a very simple step. It's very low cost. Just adding some disinfectant and wiping down those tray tables and wiping down those seats and those bathrooms, that will greatly enhance our chances of staying safe on an airplane. It's not spread through the vents. It's not spread through airborne transmission. So you do have to come into direct contact with the virus. So either through a cough or a sneeze, which contacts your mouth, nose, or face, or through what we call a fomite, which would be like your tray table and you've touched it with your hand, the virus is still living, and then you then touch your face and infect yourself.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.